How to manage asset versions between episodes or seasons. How do we import an asset into two different seasons while maintaining compatibility with what has already been published and without breaking previous compatibility? Let's take as an example episode 1 of season 1, where we have a character called Ellie, who is a main character. Here we can see all her tasks, including the rig task, which would typically be the one imported into other environments. We can also see that the character already has published files. These published files can be located through Kraken and imported into our DCC using Maya or Blender files, depending on the corresponding DCC. We can link the asset to a specific revision so it remains fixed to that exact version. Or we can link it to the main published files. This way, as new versions are published, the dependency tree will automatically update. This decision is usually made by the CG supervisor together with the production TD, depending on whether certain shots should be linked to fixed references or dynamic references. Ultimately, this is a production decision. Now, let's imagine that the production continues into a season 2, where the asset is different from the previous season. How do we handle that? In this case, the simplest approach is to duplicate the asset. We start with the existing asset and create a new one for Season 2, clearly distinguishing it as Ellie Season 2. This new character will maintain a parent relationship with the Season 1 character, establishing a direct connection between the two, even though they belong to different seasons. Within the rig section, we can generate a new file tree. For example, we can run a build process that creates an initial Blender reference file marked as Work in Progress. From there, we can generate all the necessary revisions. Another option is to clone the parent asset from Season 1 and use it as the base for the Season 2 asset. This ensures that we maintain an initial link to the original file, from which we can continue creating new revisions or publishing final files. When using Kraken within the asset browser, we can simply search for the character name, in this case Ellie, and the system will display both versions of the character, Ellie Season 1 and Ellie Season 2. Both can then be referenced within a publish file as needed. If we navigate to Season 1 and open the rig task, we can see that it is possible to create references between assets. This button allows us to generate a cross-dependency within Blender. In this way, we can maintain proper file control between different generations of the character. Because of this breakdown and the parent relationship between assets, we can also use the API to analyze and manage dependencies between these files.